Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another day of finding hope through faith. I know it's been a little bit since my last post, but I'm back. Didn't give up. Never give up. Just gotta take a break sometimes. Hope everybody's doing well in their lives and everything's going well. Hope everybody had a great Easter. But let's get right into it. We got a lot to cover, and so not a lot of time to go over some information, so let's get to it. So last time we were talking about still not crossing the Jordan yet. We're still in Deuteronomy chapter 24. There's still more rules and regulations and statutes that you're required to follow in the Old Testament. We're going to keep rolling on. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1. When a man, after marrying a woman and having relations with her, is later displeased with her because he finds in her something indecent, and therefore he writes out a bill of divorce and hands it to her, thus dismissing her from his house. If on leaving his house she goes and becomes the wife of another man, and the second husband too comes to dislike her and dismisses her from his house by handing her a written bill of divorce, or if this second man who has married her dies, then her former husband, who dismissed her, may not again take her as his wife after she has become defiled. That would be an abomination before the Lord. And you shall not bring such guilt upon the land which the Lord your God is giving you as heritage. When a man is newly wed, he need not go out on military expedition, nor shall any public duty be imposed on him. He shall be exempt for 1 year for the sake of his family, to bring joy to his wife he has married. No one shall take a hand mill or even its upper stone as a pledge for debt, for he would be taking the debtor's sustenance as a pledge. If any man is caught kidnapping a fellow Israelite in order to enslave him and sell him, the kidnapper shall be put to death. Thus shall you purge the evil from your midst. An attack of leprosy, you shall be careful to observe exactly and to carry out all the directions of the Levitical priests. Take care to act in accordance with the instructions I have given them. Remember what the Lord your God did to Miriam on the journey after you left Egypt. When you make a loan of any kind to your neighbor, you shall not enter his house to receive a pledge from him, but shall wait outside until the man to whom you are making the loan brings his pledge outside to you. If he is a poor man, you shall not sleep in the mantle he gives you as pledge, but shall return it to him at sunset, and he himself may sleep in it. Then he will bless you, and it will be a good deed of yours before the Lord your God. You shall not defraud a poor and needy hired servant, whether he be one of your own countrymen or one of the aliens who live in your communities. You shall pay him each day's wages before sundown on the day itself, since he is poor and looks forward to them. Otherwise, he will cry to the Lord against you, and you will be held guilty. Fathers shall not be put to death for their children, nor children for their fathers. Only for his own guilt shall a man be put to death. You shall not violate the rights of the alien or of the orphan, nor take the clothing of a widow as a pledge. For remember, you were once slaves in Egypt, and the Lord your God ransomed you from there. That is why I command you to observe this rule. When you reap the harvest in your field and overlook a sheaf there, you shall not go back to get it. Let it be for the alien, the orphan, or the widow, that the Lord your God may bless you in all of your undertakings. When you knock down the fruit of your olive trees, you shall not go over the branches a second time. Let what remains be for the alien, the orphan, and the widow. When you pick your grapes, you shall not go over the vineyard a second time. Let what remains be for the alien, the orphan, and the widow. For remember that you were once slaves in Egypt. That is why I command you to observe this rule. I think we can agree. Most of those are good. Most of them are. Not all. Putting people to death thing. I don't know if that's still still the right way to deal with stuff. But is there a right way to deal with people that are terrible? I don't know. So you really can't have eye for an eye, can you? And what we're doing now isn't working. So what do? You got to punish the wicked somehow. They can't just run around and do whatever they want. Deuteronomy chapter 25. When men have a dispute and bring it to court, and a decision is handed down to them acquitting the innocent party and condemning the guilty party, if the latter deserves stripes, the judge shall have him lie down in his presence, receive the number of stripes his guilt deserves. 40 stripes may be given him, but no more, lest, if he were beaten with more stripes than these, your kinsman should be looked upon as disgraced because of the severity of the beating. You shall not muzzle an ox when it is treading out grain. When brothers live together, and one of them dies without a son, the widow of the deceased shall not marry anyone outside the family, but her husband's brother shall go to her and perform the duty of a brother-in-law by marrying her. The firstborn son she bears shall continue the line of the deceased brother, that his name may not be blotted out from Israel. If, however, a man does not care to marry his brother's wife, she shall go up to the elders at the gate and declare, my brother-in-law does not intend to perform his duty toward me and refuses to perpetuate his brother's name in Israel. Thereupon the elders of the city shall summon him and admonish him. If he persists in saying, I am not willing to marry her, his sister-in-law in the presence of the elders shall go up to him and strip his sandal from his foot and spit in his face, saying publicly, this is how one should be treated who will not build up his brother's family. And his lineage shall be spoken of in Israel as the family of the man stripped of his sandal. When the two men are fighting and the wife of one intervenes to save her husband from the blows of his opponent, if she stretches out her hand and seizes the latter by his private parts, you shall chop off her hand without pity. Wow. Just chopped it off. You shall not keep two differing weights in your bag, one large and one small. They just glaze right over that. Just chop her hand off. That's fine. Nor shall you keep two different measures in your house, one large and one small. But use a true and just weight, and a true and just measure, that you may have a long life on the land which the Lord your God is giving you. Everyone who is dishonest in any of these matters is an abomination to the Lord your God. Bear in mind that Amalek did to you on his journey after you left Egypt. How, without fear of any God, he harassed you along the way, weak and weary as you were, and cut off your rear all those who lagged behind. Therefore, when the Lord your God gives you rest from all your enemies round about in the land which he is giving you to occupy as your heritage, you shall not blot out the memory of Amalek from under the heavens. Do not forget. That's important. When you have come into the land which the Lord your God is giving you as heritage, and have occupied it and settled in it, you shall take some first fruits and various products of the soil which are harvest from the land which the Lord your God gives you, and putting them in a basket, you shall go to the place which the Lord your God chooses for a dwelling place of his name. There you shall go to the priest in office at the time and say to him, Today I acknowledge to the Lord, my God, that I have indeed come into the land which he swore to our fathers he would give us. The priest shall then receive the basket from you, and shall set it in front of the altar of the Lord your God. Then you shall declare before the Lord your God, My father was a wandering Aramean, who went down to Egypt with a small household and lived there as an alien. But there he became a great nation, strong and numerous. When the Egyptians maltreated and oppressed us, imposing hard labor upon us, we cried out to the Lord, the God of our fathers, and he heard our cry and saw our affliction, our toil, and our oppression. He brought us out of Egypt with his strong hand and his outstretched arm with terrifying power. with signs and wonders and signs and wonders, and bringing us to his country. He gave us this land flowing with milk and honey. Therefore, I have now brought you the first fruits of the products of the soil which you, O Lord, have given me. And having set them before the Lord your God, you shall bow down in his presence. So it's like making an offering, I'm assuming. Then you and your family, together with the Levite and the aliens who live among you, shall make merry over all these good things which the Lord your God has given you. When you have finished setting aside all the tithes of your produce in the 3rd year, the year of the tithes, and you have given them to the Levite, the alien, the orphan, and the widow, that they may eat their fill in your own community, you shall declare before the Lord your God, I have purged my house of the sacred portion, and I have given it to the Levite, the alien, the orphan, and the widow, just as you have commanded me. In this I have not broken or forgotten any of your commandments. I have not eaten any of the tithe as a mourner. I have not brought any of it out as one unclean. I have not offered any of it to the dead. I have thus hearkened to the voice of the Lord my God, doing just as you have commanded me. Look down there from heaven, your holy abode, and bless your people, Israel, and the soil that you have given us, in the land flowing with milk and honey, which you promised an oath to our fathers. I will say this, is a lot of repeating itself, a lot of repeating the same thing, just to make sure that they knew that he took them out of Egypt. It's like, don't forget this part. This is what I did for you. He's like, I'm not going to say you owe me, but, chicken's a chicken. Looks like a duck, smells like a duck, kind of thing. This day the Lord your God commands you to observe these statutes and decrees. Be careful then to observe them with all of your heart and with all of your soul. Today you are making this agreement with the Lord. He is to be your God, and you are to walk in his ways and observe his statutes, commandments, and decrees, and to hearken to his voice. And today the Lord is making this agreement with you. You are to be a people particularly of his own, as he promised you, and provide you keep all his commandments. He will then raise you high in praise and renown and glory above all other nations he has made. And you will be a people sacred to the Lord your God, as he promised. That's great. It feels like we're getting to the end of all of the extra things, all the rules. I still want to know who's writing all this stuff down. Who's keeping all this stuff? This is a lot of information. It's a lot of information. Who's writing it down? Because it's like somebody had to be scribing this stuff, right? A little piece of parchment. All right, we're going to get back into Book of Enoch, Book 1, Chapter 28. And that's where we're going to wrap up from there. And thence I went towards the east, into the midst of the mountain range of the desert, and I saw a wilderness, and it was solitary, full of trees and plants, and water gushed forth from above, rushing like copious watercourse, which flowed towards the northwest. It caused clouds and dew to ascend on every side. Oh, we already read that, so let's move past. We're in chapter 33. Let me mark this out. There we go. Cool. Enoch, Book 1, Chapter 33. And from thence I went to the ends of the earth, and saw there were great beasts, and each differed from the other. And I saw birds also differing in appearance and beauty and voice, the one differing from the other. And to the east of those beasts I saw the ends of the earth, whereon the heavens rest, and the portals of heaven open. And I saw how the stars of heaven come forth. And I counted the portals out of which they proceeded, and wrote down all their outlets, for each individual star by itself, according to their number and names, their courses and their positions, and their times and their months, as Uriel, the holy angel who was with me, showed me. He showed me all the things to me, and wrote them down for me. Also their names he wrote for me, and their laws and their companies. And from thence I went towards the north to the ends of the earth, and there I saw a great and glorious device at the ends of the whole earth. And here I saw 3 portals of heaven open into heaven, though each of them proceeded north winds. When they blow, there is cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. And out of one portal they blow for good. But when they blow through the other 2 portals, it is with violence and affliction on the earth, and they blow with violence. Chapter 35. And from thence I went towards the west to the ends of the earth, and saw there were 3 portals of heaven, open such as I had seen in the east, the same number of portals and the same number of outlets. And from thence I went to the south to the ends of the earth, and I saw there 3 open portals of heaven, and thence there come dew, rain, and wind. And from thence I went to the east to the ends of the heaven, and saw here the 3 eastern portals of heaven open, and small portals above them. There's a lot of portals. Lots and lots of portals. And as often as I saw, I blessed always the Lord of glory, and I continue to bless the Lord of glory, who has wrought great and glorious wonders to show the greatness of his work to the angels and to the spirits and to the men, that they might praise his work and all his creation, that they might see his work of his might and praise the great work of his hands and bless him forever. The second vision which he saw, the vision of wisdom, which Enoch, the son of Jared, the son of Malel, son of, he's like the 5th generation. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's like the 7th generation. And this is the beginning of those words of wisdom which I lifted up my voice to speak and say to those which dwell on earth. Hear ye men of old time, and see ye that come after, the words of the Holy One, which I will speak before the Lord of spirits. It were better to declare them only to the men of old time, but even for those that come after, we will not withhold the beginning of wisdom. Till the present day, such wisdom has never been given by the Lord of spirits, as I have received according to my insight, according to the good pleasure of the Lord of spirits, by whom the lot of eternal life has given to me. Now 3 parables were imparted to me, and I lifted my voice and recounted them to choose that to those that dwell on earth. The first parable: when the congregation of the righteous shall appear, and sinners shall be judged for their sins, and shall be driven from the face of the earth. And when the righteous one shall appear before the eyes of the righteous, those elect words hang upon the Lord of spirits, and the light shall appear to the righteous and the elect who dwell on the earth. Where then will be the dwelling of sinners, and where the resting place of those who have denied the Lord of spirits? It had been good for them if they had not been born. Wow. When the secrets of these righteous shall be revealed, and the sinners be judged, and the godless driven from the presence of the righteous and elect, from that time those that possess the earth shall no longer be powerful and exalted, and they shall not be able to behold the face of the holy. For the Lord of spirits has caused his light to appear on the face of the holy, righteous, and elect. Then shall the kings and the mighty perish, and be given into the hands of the righteous and holy. And thenceforward none shall seek for themselves mercy from the Lord of spirits, for their life is at an end. Pshaw. That's wild. So when is this, right? When is it going to happen? There's no telling, but I think people should just get their act together, because it feels we're getting, it's every generation says it, right? It feels like we're getting towards the end, whatever. But man, it's some wicked stuff happening right now. But that's a story for another day. I appreciate y'all coming to see me. I hope y'all have a good day, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.